Krishna Nam Sarvadharma
Hare Krishna. NITYA-KISHORE Devi Ki Jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. You are muted.
Sorry, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Let me close the door.
Okay.
Just a second.
So Salika Prabhu, you may go live.
We are live on YouTube.
Sorry, Hare Krishna.
Okay, sorry. I didn't realize.
Let me close the door.
Okay. So Salika Prabhu, you may go live. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. All glories to revered speaker for today, Her Grace NITYA-KISHORE Devi. And all glories to the assembled Vaishnavi devotees. Today is the 16th day of February 2026. It's Monday, another new beginning of a new week. And it is our honor to have our precious NITYA-KISHORE back after such a long time. We've been missing her for quite a while, and we're so grateful to see her, have her back. So, Mother, welcome back to your own home, and we may put the verse on the screen and you take it over from here. Hare Krishna, thank you so much. You are muted, you might have to unmute. Okay, good. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, the text?
Yes, 16:6, 3:16:6.
You were putting on this. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya. Naram Chaiva Narotamam. Devim Saraswatim Vyasam. Tato Jayam Udirayet. Srimad Bhagavatam 3:16:6. First, I want to say thank you so much, Sahadev, for the opportunity. Thank you for all the people there listening to Bhagavatam today. I am speaking from São Paulo, Brazil, and now it's 12 p.m. This is the new studio that we have in Brazil, São Paulo, because we are moving from Mayapur for some time. Of course, it's not completely, how can I say, definitive, because we always there in Mayapur, so many things, bind us in Mayapur. And but for a while we are here in Brazil, and this is the new studio that we are preparing here. Okay, not my working place. This is Giri Govardhan's working place. My working place is there. It's not completely ready, so I came to the studio. Okay, Yasamrita Malaya Shastravanaga Navagaha Sadhya Punati Jagadash Pachada Vikunta Soham Bhavadbhya Upalabda Sutirta Kirtish Chindin Am Swabahumapi Vapratikula Vritim. Synonymous. Yasya, of whom Amrita, nectar, Amala, uncontaminated, Yasha, glories, Shravana, hearing, Avagaha, entering into, Sadhya, immediately, Punati, purifies, Jagat, the universe, Ashwat, Pachat, including even the dog eaters, Vikunta, without anxiety, Saha, that person, Aham, I am, Bhavad, Bhya, from you, Upalabdha, obtain, Sutirta, the best place of pilgrimage, Kirti, the fame, Chindiyam, wood cut off, Swabhahum, my own arm, Api, even, Vaha, towards you, Pratikula Vritim, acting inimically. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation: anyone in the entire world, even down to the Chandala, who lives by cooking and eating the flesh of the dog, is immediately purified if he takes bath in hearing through the ear the glorification of my name, fame, etc. Now you have realized me without doubt. Therefore, I will not hesitate to lop off my own arm if its conduct is found hostile to you. Purport. Real purification can take place in human society if its members take to Krishna consciousness. This is clearly stated in all Vedic literature. Anyone who takes a Krishna consciousness in all sincerity, even if he is not very advanced in good behavior, is purified. A devotee can be recruited from any section of a human society, although it is not expected that everyone in all segments of society is well behaved. As stated in this verse and in many places in Bhagavad Gita, even if one is not born in a Brahmana family, or even if he is born in a family of Chandalas, if he simply takes to Krishna consciousness, he is immediately purified. In Bhagavad Gita 9th chapter, verses 30-32, it's clear stated that even though a man is not well behaved, if he simply takes to Krishna consciousness, he is understood to be a saintly person. As long as a person is in this material world, he has two different relationships in his dealings with others. One relationship pertains to the body, and the other pertains to the spirit. As far as bodily affairs or social activities are concerned, although a person is purified on the spiritual platform, it is sometimes seen that he acts in terms of his bodily relationships. If a devotee born in the family of a Chandala, the lowest caste, is sometimes found engaged in his habitual activities, he is not to be considered a Chandala. In other words, a Vaishnava should not be evaluated in terms of his body. The Shastra states that one should think the deity in the temple to be made of wood or stone, and no one should think that a person coming from a lower caste family who has taken to Krishna consciousness is still of the same low caste. These attitudes are forbidden because anyone who takes to Krishna consciousness is understood to be fully purified. He is at least engaged in the process of purification. He is at least engaged in the process of purification, and he sticks to the principle of Krishna consciousness. He will very soon be fully purified. The conclusion is that if one takes to Krishna consciousness with all seriousness, he is to be understood as already purified, and Krishna is ready to give him protection by all means. The Lord assures herein that he is ready to give protection to his devotee, even if there is need to cut off part of his own body. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyanam Janam Shalakaya Chakshur Militant Jnana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha Panchakalpaturabhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhi Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Can you leave for a while the verse? Please. Anyone in the entire world, even down to the Chandala who lives by cooking and eating the flesh of the dog, is immediately purified if he takes a bath in hearing through the ear the glorification of my name, fame, etc. Now you have realized me without doubt. Therefore, I will not hesitate to lop off my own arm if its conduct is found hostile to you. And the purport that Srila Prabhupada is giving it can be misinterpreted also. Please write your questions and write your opinions. I'd like to hear from you. Because we all believed blindly without considering the other parts of the whole Vaishnava literature. You know, even Bhagavad Gita, like more deepen. We have to understand Bhagavad Gita more deepen. Try to listen carefully what Krishna is really saying. And if it's too heavy, and if you are thinking this is too heavy and this is too demanding and it's so difficult, and then it's so like this is contradictory to what is saying here, and also contradictory to Kripa Shakti. That's the main God's energy. That's saying in every scripture in the world, His mercy. So if it's so heavy, so difficult, only for few people, exclusive, so then who is getting the mercy? At the same time, it's saying so easy. But in practice, many people are talking that is so difficult, that you are not enough, that this is not wrong, this is wrong what you are doing, you are wrong, you're not good, you're not enough, and these people is perfect, you're very down, you're very fallen. They're saying like this all the time. But at the same time, the Shastra is saying something else. And there are different Shastras. So where is the, how can I say, where is the conclusion? And what is right and what is wrong? And how should I understand those statements? Like, okay, if a person is very bad behaved, and then if he hears, he's immediate to be purified. That's the verse. Okay, what should we do with this knowledge? What should we do with this information? He's immediately purified. What does it mean? Means that from this time, this very time one, he would come out, and then even, let's suppose that he believes that, and he's very like enlightened, feeling so good, and wow, my God, I found spirituality, and this is so amazing, so incredible. I love that. So means that he should do that like this, and then immediately changed completely his lifestyle radically. And then we understand that this statement is correct. If a person just start the process and still carry on bad habits and continue to listen, means that it doesn't work, or didn't work for that person. We have to think about this very carefully, and then we can understand why so many people left, why so many of our friends that joined 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago are not here. Why we are always smaller and smaller, and few people are understanding what we are saying, because it's full of contradiction. If it's saying this here, so how that can be applied? This is the next question. How can I apply this information? How can I understand this information? Are we understanding this information or knowledge, instruction correctly? This is the question. And if it's not, what are we doing wrong? And how can we improve? I see as a preacher that if a person comes to the state of not understanding or believing anything and is just walking this world lost, completely lost. If they start to understand there is something else bigger than what I can see with these eyes. This is for me a very, very big step. This is the way I understand as a preacher. It's a big step. Bring from an atheist behavior or conscience or understanding to a theist one. And then for this to have a perfect, I don't know what people means by perfect, because according to the Vedas, we have 4 castes. Sorry, 4 varnas and 4 ashramas. So what the person, they born with different nature, so they have different beliefs and behavior because they are from different modes of nature. And according to Bhagavad Gita, all of them can be devotees. So if you have, oh, this is the amazing behavior, this is the best behavior, so which varna you're talking about? Which varna you're talking about? What's really the best behavior that you can have according to your varna? It should be a behavior of a sannyasi is different from a behavior of a grihasta. You know, if a sannyasi is thinking about my house and female secretaries and my house and my comfort, and this is very bad, this is not good. But a grihasta cannot think same as a sannyasi. He has to think, yes, this house should be comfortable for my family to live. And he has to make plans for his kids to study. He has to make plans to protect the female of the family, protect the daughters, give them education, give them protection, and right guidance when they come to age for getting married. He has to plan that. He has to understand that. But if a sannyasi is making big plans and is not ready to die today or tomorrow because he's civilly dead, that's not correct. He should be. Meanwhile, grihastas making plan for their families, for their protection, for their living, for their retirement. That's Vedic culture. Completely perfect to everyone. It doesn't matter how they're born in this world, by the activities of past lives, to be engaged, to be chaste, not to feel guilty, to feel bad, to feel anything that is not according to his nature. That should come on the table. That should be discussed. And that will bring for sure everybody together, not an illusion. Like, now I can do a volunteer service, I'm better than others, I am good, I am surrender. Oh, these other grihastas or women, they're just attached to sense gratification, working many hours daily, getting their salaries, having their bank accounts. When Prabhupada talks about bank accounts, and I say, he's not talking about a father in a family. He's not talking about them. The family and women or grihastas, unfortunately, they should be, but unfortunately they are not strong, and they should be strong enough to put this on the table and say, this all has so much value and they're very, very important. For example, for us that have kids, it's very important that they come from a stable, good families with good education. and they are devotees, and they will be continue to be devotees. It's not like that you have to give them hard time, and bring them to difficult situations for them to become a devotees. For example, so many young men from Gurukula in Mayapur, they disappeared. They are not active right now. They, very few are actives. Most of them, they are everywhere. So this we have to be, for us, since we got the responsibility to have a family and have the kids. Our responsibility is mainly how can I raise these kids properly, nicely, with full development. That should be, and not to show everybody that how detached we are by neglecting our kids, by neglecting their future. We don't think about the future. Future is in Krishna's hands. He is the controller. And then by saying this statement out of context, we don't do our responsibilities. We don't do our duty. And that's very funny, but it's exactly what happened in Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna said, I don't want to fight. And Krishna says, are you crazy, man? Are you weak? What you're talking about? That's your duty. No. This is a problem. This will cause a lot of problem. I don't want to do it. This is the result of that is just bad for everyone. Why should I do that? The whole Bhagavad Gita is how to do your duty according to your varna, according to your ashrama. How you do it, not avoid it, not faking, not avoid it, not faking, not repressing it, but how to do it in balance, how to do it with understanding. The body is temporary, the soul is eternal. We are dying. Careful with your activities. That is karma law. Every day we have a chance to cheat, to be aggressive, to be bad every day. And then when you are Krishna conscious, when you just act in a pious way according to Krishna instructions. Being you a grihasta, a sannyasi, a brahmachari, or vanaprastha, every varna can do the same thing, can act in the same consciousness. The lifestyle or the vows is not important. There are sannyasis that cheat, gurus that cheat, grihasta, brahmachari, that steal. What's the point there? It doesn't matter your varna. Your consciousness should be higher. Thinking about the knowledge. The knowledge should rule your life. You are in your job, you are with your kids, you are with your disciples, you are with other managers, you are with colleagues or friends in the brahmachari ashrama. What do you do? How you act? You serve? Are you envious? Are you aggressive? Are you unkind? Your attitude is service. You have interest. You are thinking about acting good because they will think good about you and worship you and talk good about you. If you have a problem, are you willing to fix that? This is most important than, okay, I am important and I am my prestige and what people are talking about me and the color of my clothes. That's very superficial. I can't believe that any Sumedha Saha, the most intelligent. Sumedha Saha, Meda means intelligence. And this, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's followers call Sumedha Saha, most intelligent. So this is what will happen to them. They will be absorbed and worried about money, position, and how much I am adored, and the color of my dhoti, my hair. What do you think about it? So in this verse, it's in this purport, and the verse is shaking us. It's shaking, saying, look, even if a person continues, in the purport is saying, okay, a dog eater accepted, heard about Krishna, and then may accepted Krishna, take up, Prabhupada says, accepted Krishna consciousness, and then they may don't change. This is what he's saying. They may don't change. This is what he's saying in the purport. This is very important. So then we say to people, why, they want to join, and then we, first of all, we want them to change, their occupation, their dharma, what you were working, come here and do something else, or feel guilty about what they are doing, their jobs, their money, their lifestyle. Why? First of all, that should be slow, any change. And that should be the reason for the change, should be sincerity and real spiritual advancement. So there are many things that we still have to go through, but when I see this kind of purport and verses from Bhagavatam and purport from Srila Prabhupada, I feel so good that this is the right path. Of course, this is not the only one. There are others, but Krishna consciousness is a very good path. What damaged us, it was misinterpreting, what is saying in the Shastras, and put this in each leader using this in a very subjective way, and in a more radical, we are radicals, extremes, way, instead of put this in order, and pay attention when the purport is saying, look, this is important, instead of thinking in a very fanatic way, like, okay, they listen to it, now they are, anyone who take Krishna consciousness, they listen to it, and then they become, and then expecting something that's not happening, that's not gonna happen, expecting something that's not gonna happen, like to see these people, rolling on the ground in ecstasy, blah blah blah, and what's the name in English for that? And not valuing, not giving proper value to the advancement of every person. Like, oh my God, if you're chanting now, and then if you remember Krishna, and if you think Krishna is God, and this is a lot of advancement. And this is a core change for a person who never ever knew about Krishna before, and now it's in their heart and in their memory, in their minds, that there's a Supreme Lord, his name is Krishna, and these are his instructions, and I love his instructions, and I think his instructions are amazing, and really, really, really help me to understand who am I, and to protect myself, protect my consciousness, and to have a more balanced life, and be inspired by Krishna's words in Bhagavad Gita, by kirtan, by chanting, by offering the food, by being vegetarian, by offering. All these activities, we take them for granted. We don't value them. This is very, very, very small. You should do dancing ecstatic and be like very, oh my God. It's like this for me, it's called illusion. This is illusion. Reality is something else. Reality is respect. Respect one another. Love one another. Be responsible. Love. Can you imagine if you, as a father, as a mother, you treat everybody so nicely and then in your house you don't? This is so bad. That's what we have to understand. That's what we have to change. You know, even some gurus or some leaders, you know, they're so arrogant. Don't listen to people nicely, you know, thinking themselves very above everyone. So bad. Having this behavior. So this is most important to see how we are practicing and value whatever advancement somebody can do than judgment. In Switzerland, in Zurich Temple, there are very few visitors from Switzerland. They're mostly immigrants or Indians, but in Switzerland there are a lot of programs, kirtan and yoga programs. Everybody goes to Switzerland because Swiss people are very interested in spiritual life, but not in institutions, but in spiritual understanding, protect the nature, being kind, you know. And I asked a devotee from there, from Germany, that is a preacher for 20 years, he's preaching in Europe. And I told him, I don't understand. Swiss people are going everywhere, but they're not going to our kids, they're not going to the temple. And then he said, they don't like the atmosphere. You're not chanting 16 rounds. What is this? You're not chanting 16 rounds. What we have to do with people's private life or private, you know, advancement, why we are, you know, look at people like you're not enough, or you're not good. Swiss people, they don't like that, so they're not going there. They're going to other kirtan programs, and they open a kirtan programs. So you know, it was like almost 1 year ago. I don't know how is that now, but we have to be careful. We have to be careful, like, okay, what's our understanding? How much love we have for people? How caring are we? And how we value their understanding? If it's anybody in the world that we are today, so difficult, Kali Yuga, everything's so messed up. Somebody comes for kirtan, come for listening about God, to understand the soul. And this is not enough. Why? It should be, isn't it? And anything beyond that has nothing, it's not under our control. People, we die and we are alone when we die. We don't know what will happen next life with us, where we are going, where we will be born, how much real advanced we made. We don't know about us. What we speak about others also don't know. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, apart from kindness with others and love for the holy names, I don't know another dharma. This is what he said. I think Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings, now it's Gaur Purnima, in less than, in like 20 days, we should remember Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teachings for Kali Yuga people, specifically tailored Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings for Kali Yuga mentality, for the chaotic world mentality. Okay, so 38 minutes, and Sahadev Prabhu, we could go for comments, questions.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, of course, as always, for your delivery. Dear devotees, if anyone may have questions, comments, reflections, realizations you may want to ask or share, please indicate by using the hand emoji or your physical hand, and you'll be asked to unmute to ask your question or share your reflections. Hare Krishna. Well, NITYA-KISHORE DEVI, of course, thank you so much for being here and speaking so beautifully. I have one question.
Yes.
The question is talking about like the Swiss people. I sometimes watch some videos from Switzerland, and they seem to be very happy people. Very respectful people. Happy.
Happy,
yes. And you were talking about their love for spirituality. And sometimes we as ISKCON devotees, we have visitors and we're asking, do you chant 16 rounds? I think just for clarification reasons, I think you're referring to visitors who just visit the temple just to acquaint themselves with Hare Krishna people, and maybe the devotees are asking them to chant 16 rounds. If that is the case, that is improper. It's not going to encourage people to visit the place. But I believe it is also very important that devotees will, from time to time, remind practicing devotees to chant their 16 rounds. I just wanted to help clarify, were you referring to devotees, reminding devotees to finish their rounds, or devotees talking to visitors to chant 16 rounds? If you may clarify, please. Hare Krishna.
No, we shouldn't have a community who is judging people in their individual practices. We shouldn't. We shouldn't have this atmosphere. We can't do that. People are adults. They want to be respected. Whatever choices they make, it's not under us to judge them or to tell them if they don't ask. It's very uneducated way to live, like asking people sensitive, private questions. We have books and we have classes, and there is saying what we should do. And if somebody doesn't ask, so Swiss people, they love nature, and of course nature is connected to spirituality, and they also value so much human connection, and they make sure to be kind with one another. Because I have a friend who lives in Switzerland, and I was there many times, and I saw that. I saw how they behave. And our culture is not so much like that. We interfere And then somebody who is going through something and they have no brain to chant, or something's going on in their lives, or or they have a small kid and they become like a very they feel guilty, they feel bad, and then when they go to the temple, instead of being inspired, they feel that someone is criticizing them or giving them advices, unwanted advices, because they didn't ask. And so then they disappeared. But why should them disappear? Why? This is the place that you should go when you need shelter. You go to the devotee community, you go to the temple. You shouldn't feel bad in the temple. People, when they go to the church, I went to many churches. Nobody tells you anything. You sit down there, you pray, you observe yourself in that atmosphere. You even, we chant japa in church, because when we are traveling and doing books or preaching, the church is the best place for you to chant. So many times I chanted japa in a church, and nobody will come to say anything to you. This is the house of God, God's house, So, yeah. You know what? There is one profile in Instagram with 1 million followers. They are Buddhists. It's for Buddhists. And they are talking about problems of the people faced in normal life, give instructions according to Buddha. So I always thinking, because since I joined, I am preaching, distributing books. I was thinking what we are doing wrong and how can we improve the way we present Krishna consciousness to people. So I saw this Buddhist profile with 1 million followers, just talking about things that we face in life, problems, and give solutions for that comfort people, that guide them through spirituality. We have to understand that, life problems, they shouldn't be ignored. Life problems exist. And if you're part of a religious group or religious community or a religious institution, it is good that you can give people a proper guidance for everyone. Not the guidance and you're always the same. No, you just chant your japa. Oh, Maharaj, Guru Maharaj, sorry. My son now is, is taking drugs, alcohol. What should I do? You go to the temple, you chant, you chant. Krishna will take care of it. This is not enough. Or Guru Maharaj, I'm going through divorce. And my husband is very aggressive and I am suffering so much. Oh, don't do anything that will damage your devotional service. Not enough. Not enough. If a sannyasi never married and they don't know law, if a sannyasi doesn't know law, or he doesn't know psychology, or he cannot guide in some worldly matters, that's completely normal. He shouldn't. Other grihastas should. He should just say, I think I don't have so much experience on this. Could you talk to this person? Person is going through something, they work, and they say, look, I'm now in my life, I can't chant any rounds. I have so much work and I am this, I am that. And they get very disturbed because of that. So they can ask this from other grihastas that also had the same problem, but kept their spiritual life going through some difficulties, and get some instructions from them. not from a sannyasi that, came with another, how can I say, nature, another tendencies and lifestyle that always makes time to change their japa. So this is missing. And but we should be conscious, and we should not be hypocrites. We should be conscious that this is happening, and how to deal with that in a better way, always improving ourselves, improving so we can be more helpful to others, and people can stay with Krishna. Why, if they're going through something bad, they should leave, or they should feel guilty or ashamed? Why? Why they just cannot go through the problems of life with Krishna in the holy names, in Bhagavatam? Because everybody needs shelter. Everybody needs. Where they look for shelter. Where? We should be able to give shelter. The temple, the Vaishnavas, the gurus, we should be able to give shelter, not to give judgment, not to pass judgment, condemnation, to give shelter, to be grateful to people's dedication, to people's devotion, to be happy that they stay, although all the problems, they stay with Krishna for decades and decades and decades. Not look for some difficulty that they have to condemn them. Less judgment. So Swiss people, they want at all like such environment where judgment is going on. Spirituality is not for that. I don't know if you guys heard, there is a podcast now going on with Narayani Mataji. She is a Siksha Guru lady. So she said that 10 years she was waiting for an answer, and she was going to GBC, and then they were telling her, no, we still don't have any answer. No, we don't have any answer. Without explanation, without any kindness. I heard that, and I was thinking, wow. Why it should be like this? Why? And then when the pressure was outside a lot, and then they, okay. Why? We need more kindness. These people are so dedicated. They did a lot of service. They go everywhere, tell others about Krishna, about the holy names, about Kirtan. They preach Bhagavad Gita. They should be respected. They should be taken consideration. Yes or no? They should be treated with kindness, with love. No, it's not important. It's not important. You're a woman, you're old, you're not famous, you don't have money. So that should be, I want to bring this over with the table, and it has to do with the verse. It has to do with the verse, because in the verse is talking about very low class, people in the verse that become devotees, and Prabhupada is saying the purport, look, even if they are still, if they didn't change their lifestyle, leave it like that. That's very interesting what Prabhupada said.
Well, Hare Krishna. Thank you for the answer to my question, but I still need a little bit of clarification, in the sense that I believe it will be quite unfortunate that let's say a temple president, an ISKCON temple president, will be questioning a visitor if you following the 4 regulative principles, if you chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. I don't think that is nice. But when a visitor visits the temple and hears the preaching and understands what we stand for and begins to adopt the lifestyle, that is beautiful. But those who have dedicated their lives to live in the ashram, it is expected of them to live a particular lifestyle, that they attend Mangarati, they do some service in the temple, they cook, they do their japa. We cannot expect visitors to be doing those things. But those living in the ashram should be encouraged to live such lifestyle, because that is what they have.
Encouraged? No, this is what they should do.
Okay, so that is okay. Okay, so what I'm trying,
because
what
they
I'm
are there,
understanding.
they're there for this.
Okay.
I'm not talking about the ashrama.
Okay.
The ashrama is for that only. And
Okay.
if you are not ready, you shouldn't stay in the ashram.
Okay, good.
Yes or not?
That is the clarification I was looking for.
We should be coherent. We should be coherent. Coherence is very important. It makes things good for everybody. When you are not fit, but you are in this kind of position, you only bring trouble to yourself and to others. Yes or not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You should be fit in, you should be happy in, and your motivation should be the correct one. I love this lifestyle. I want to wake up earlier and chant my japa. I feel so good. I'm not struggling. If I am struggling, it's because this is not my place. And for being a devotee, I don't need that. I only need if this is my case. That we have to change. This is very important. Very.
Well, thank you.
You are there because this is what you want to do. You love that. I have no complaints living to the temple, living in the temple for 8 years, doing books every day, 12 hours daily. I loved it. No complaints.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If you're not, if this is not for you, then it's not for you. And you will be a good devotee going to university and, working, have your own money. I didn't have the problem to give the result of my book distribution was a lot of money to the temple. Zero problem. But that's me. Some people, they don't like to do that. They feel bad. They're thinking, I don't know, just because it's not their nature to give like that. You can't expect this from anybody. And it doesn't mean that I was more advanced than the others. This is just like nature. You come like that and you don't mind. Well, when I went to live in Mayapur, I was a grihasta mom, and I collected $50,000 to Sankta Department in 3 years with my Sankirtan group. $50,000. So much money we will bring to Sankta Department and count and give and get more books and give and like that. Never mind. We're so happy to give. Some people, they don't like that. So no. I want to work and my money, my bank account. They never do that. Never. Yeah. Okay, so
yeah,
there's somebody with
hand. Hamsadita Prabhu, you may unmute.
Hare Krishna, Mother. Good to see you once again. We have not seen you for a very long time. Please kindly accept my personal obeisances. All glory to Jai Guru Shri Prabhupada and all glory to the wonderful assembly. Yes, thank you for the wonderful class.
Thank you.
I have this question I want to ask about the analysis you give about the Swiss people So some time ago in Barcelona temple, in the morning when we are chanting, there was this guy. I think he has come days before to the temple, and they get him a japa, mahajapa, and because he wanted to chant. So he come the temple early in the morning when we are chanting, and all we hear is he chanting different mantra where we are chanting Maha Mantra. And this Prabhu Prima Kanda, he's a British. I think he was the one who received him, and he went to him and said, "No, here, like nicely said, he has to chant Hare Krishna, and Hare Krishna is there, it's hanging there that even if you don't know, you can look at it and chant." And this guy, he started chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. And he started chanting different mantras again. And he went to him again and said, "Please, don't do this. Here we don't chant different mantras. We chant Hare Krishna." And he said, "Okay, yeah, like." So this time he was feeling sorry. And all we know, he started chanting this mantra again, and Prima Kanda becomes so furious. And I was like, "This, you have to leave." And this guy he just went out and left the temple. So in a situation like this, what do you say about that? You shall have patience and allow him to continue the chanting, and one day, since Mahamantra is so powerful, then he will begin to chant the Mahamantra, or we don't have to tolerate things like this. So what do you say about this? Hare Krishna.
Hansaduta, isn't it? Hansaduta?
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu, you know what? I would allow him to chant his mantra because he would be influenced by the atmosphere and by the Mahamantra too. He would feel the difference, you know, but maybe not immediately, you know. And of course, if he was chanting very loud, this is not good. And also, what I would do if I was a leader would call him, and after that and talk, "Oh, very interesting mantra. Where did you learn this mantra?" "Ah, I learned this mantra somewhere." So, you know, because this is the
Yeah.
way to influence. This is the way to get people from your side to your side. You know, because guys, all of us, we came from very, very different situations.
Mhm.
Yes or not? You know,
Yes.
where we came from and what happened, you know, in this time with the temple leader, what he did with us, and how unconscious we were about our surrounding, about the mantras, about what the devotees were doing. So people have that preached to us, they were very patient to wait for us to understand things, you know, to do some changes that we have to do in our behavior, you know. And I would be, but like, you know, if somebody else did not. Also, you know, I observed is like, unfortunately, our conditions, work conditions in the cultural sense and temple are not so good. So then we don't have a system. It's like in Brazil or other places, you become a temple president or a leader, but you know, who trained you? You know, like, okay,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, who trained you? Okay, somebody opened a center, then people in the small city somewhere, and then somebody's going there, and somebody is there coordinating. Okay, is there any manual or guidance? Is the GBC doing this manual or guidance for temple coordinators? or centers, coordinators, you know, that you come and you can have, you even can have recorded classes training you how to be a commander, how to deal with situations, the best what you can do with different people, you know, like it should be there. We don't have that. I noticed that we don't have this training. You know, some people they do because they don't have another alternative. This is what they think. Oh, I don't think it should chant here. But this is a visitor. You know, okay, what should they do in this case? Like what I said about calling him, the person who visitor who is chanting different mantra after the ceremony, and asking him, what's your name, where you came from, you have been to India, wow, you chant this mantra, which mantra is which mantra is this, do you know the meaning of this mantra, you know, and start to having a conversation and make friendship and like, hello, how are you, and you know, and then every day, and then, you know, and if it's really disturbing, ask him only to chant Hare Krishna inside and chant the mantra outside if it's really disturbing. And if it's not, just have a little bit of patience, you know, and wait, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. To be honest, when he tell him to leave, I was happy because maybe I'm so neophyte, because he was disturbing everybody, and everybody in the temple was kind of looking at him in a very weird way because you only hear what he's chanting. So, and he talked to him once, and that is not the first time he has met him. They have talked this before, so he kind of know him, and he went to him nicely that please, he has to chant Hare Krishna, and he went second time, and the third time he was like, it seems like he was doing deliberately. So, and even disturbing the devotees. So, to me, I was very comfortable that he sacked him. Yeah, maybe I'm also wrong, but that was what I was feeling. So thank you for answering that. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, but you know, as I said, Hansaduta, you know what? We need more training.
Yeah.
So then we need more training. My observation, you know, is just like you ask somebody to be a coordinator or temple president, and this person has to have different skills, like communication skills.
Yes.
If you're a good communicator, you can solve any situation, you know? And because you have to take care of those devotees who are chanting there, and then is this person coming in, you know, and then wow, but how can you communicate with the person? You know, like go and give an order is not good for the visitor. You know, so this is what I'm saying. We don't have training, and it should have. It should be trained to deal with different situations, and also people, those who occupy such position or roles, they have to be more qualified to do it, you know. If in America, one lady, she's very beautiful. She's very beautiful. And she has a devotee husband, but she is not completely, you know, devotee. So the hair, the way she dressed, didn't like it. And then they always treated her harshly.
Mm.
And she's still married with this devotee because they love each other, they are married. But she is very intelligent. She is a school principal. So she got some MBA, you know, she reads a lot. And she is not favorable because she is mistreated when she goes to the temple.
Mm.
you know. So then we don't have that established properly, just like that, you know. Yeah, this person is a leader and doesn't know how to just treat a normal person who comes to the temple. How Prabhupada was, you know, would be thinking about that, Prabhupada. I think he would be against that. He wants everybody to be well treated, you know. And if she doesn't dress properly, and that should be addressed, you know, in the churches. There are so many churches in Switzerland and Europe, and there is a dress code for going inside the church. Dress modestly. We also we have to have that. And the people should say, oh, dress modestly to go to a church, to go to a temple. You don't have to tell them directly, you have there, like everybody else. And, you know, and you have a guard or security to tell if something goes really wrong, you know, but first time they don't know. So our communication is not, but then look at that. The person doesn't know, it doesn't feel anything, and doesn't understand anything, and just go to the temple, dress the way they dress normally. And then instead of never mind about that or waiting, the first thing we give this bad glance and then look at them like from head to toe, and then don't treat them nicely, properly, because they're not following the dress code. They don't know. Don't know the dress code.
Well, Hare Krishna,
Yes,
thank you.
yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, Hamsadita Prabhu, thank you for this scenario. And NITYA-KISHORE Devi, thank you so much. I very much agree with you that leaders should be trained. It's very important. But there is also a situation whereby somebody, they come to the temple, but he came to the temple just to disrupt. There are people like that also. I can't think of the name of the city. There is one city here in the States, in the US, where ISKCON has a Govinda restaurant. So one person walked in and then asked if they serve chicken. And the devotees working in the restaurant said, no, this is a vegetarian restaurant. We don't sell chicken here. Says, oh, I didn't know, but I love chicken. Says we don't sell chicken here. Meanwhile, this guy had come to the restaurant with the chicken. He already had a chicken packaged in his takeaway. So he sat down, he opened his plate and was ready to eat his chicken. So what did the devotees do? They drove him out. Of course, in a very polite way, but they told him, no, we don't do that here. In the first place, you did not buy from us. In the second place, these things are prohibited. We don't do that here. So as much as I agree with you, NITYA-KISHORE, that especially like the temple president could do better, because we're not there, we don't know all the details, could do better by letting the person stay and chant whatever and then asking him like what you described. It's so beautiful. If that may work, that would be awesome. That could change the person. But if the president is trained, the president can know this person is just here to disrupt, not here to learn. And then they will approach it in a different way. But all in all, I agree with the approaches you've given, that oftentimes when we approach in a very caring and loving manner, we could change the individual. But sometimes we don't do that. We want the person to do the right thing right away, which oftentimes don't work. So
Yeah,
that
you
is
know,
my
about the
contribution.
chicken, about the chicken thing,
Yeah,
is is a different case. This
yeah,
is the reason why a temple president or a coordinator or a leader should be trained, because this is a different case. For example, when you go to the hotel, they have a sign saying, we reserved the rights for admission, because they're not obliged to admit anybody. A person who is maybe attack others, or being aggressive, or even say bad words, or is drunk. That's a restaurant or a hotel, a public place. They should have control, over some aggressive people, like the guy with the chicken. So I'm so sorry, you cannot eat the chicken here. And then please, can you please leave? Oh no, I want to let. So then we are calling the police if they don't have security. This is very easy. You just have to have a little training as a manager. You know what to do, because this is just about training. People don't know that they born and then, oh, they are qualified. No, they all get trained, and then they know what to do. It's different. Somebody who is somebody like that is mentally ill. Yeah, mentally ill. And then sometimes they are really, I tell you a story, like, guys, you were telling cases. I joined when I was 17 years old. So, and I was very innocent, because my parents, they were very simple people. So I was very innocent, but I was in the temple. I think I maybe was 20 or 19 years old, or 20 years old. And one man, a very strange behavior, came to the temple. Okay, he was trembling, and he has, hands, sweating hands. He was very white and little chubby, and he was, you know, um, high,
tall. Okay.
tall. Sorry, he was tall, and the son of my friend, I was with her son, doing some activities in the temple room, waiting for the visitors. And she was in the kitchen or pujari place. We were friends. We did things together, book distribution. And this man came, and then he was there participating. And then he started to show what I said, this behavior and sweating. And then he told me, I need to go to the bathroom, and I want to bring the kid with me to the bathroom. I was very young, and I never heard anybody says that this was incorrect. But I felt threat. I said, no, you cannot bring him to the bathroom with you. Why? No, you can't do that. I didn't allow. But I have no idea that could be horrific for this boy. He was about to be raped by a crazy person who came to the temple as a visitor. So I lived in the temple for 10 years. And I think, I'm completely sure, all people that work with another people, they have to be trained, informed, and they cannot give advice if they are not qualified to give, because these people's lives, like married women to men that doesn't have any job, that we don't know anything about them, from where they're coming from, what are the intentions are, all kinds of those things, So what we spoke about this small, it's okay, but there are much more, things to take care of people's life, people's understanding. But I think we are progressing, you know, like GBC College and Saba, you know, these kind of things, and discussions like what we are doing right now. It spreads, and the society makes pressure, and things change. And we are very young as a society, and 50 years later, I believe, because of the strength of the instructions of Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, he is the best. He's the best God. So that will be much better than it is now, you know. But we have to put those things over the table, on the table, and then they can be addressed and they can be changed. That's what we should do.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Yes.
Thanks to you.
And like you rightly said, there is so much progress. Devotees are coming together and putting certain measures in place to make devotees' lives much better. So we thank you so much as always. Dear devotees, we're going to humbly request you all to kindly unmute yourselves, and we all, with one love, one heart, chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra to express our gratitude to our revered sister, the Grace NITYA-KISHORE, who was lost but now found. You may all unmute. Jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Vancha kalpa
Vakakapa
tarubhyascha,
Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanabhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha.
Ananta Kuti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. All glories to Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Grace NITYA-KISHORE Devi ki jai. All glories to Tamil Vaishnava Vaishnava devotees ki
Hare
jai.
Hare 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 Hare
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the audience. It was a pleasure again and again to talk to you.
Hare
Haribo.
Krishna. Hare Hare Bol. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Mother Kishore.
Salika Prabhu, you are the host.
Yeah, please do not disappear again. We want to see you next month.